Have you ever seen someone step into a date expecting nothing, a broken bar, only to walk away with everything they never knew they needed? That's exactly what happened when a millionaire shot tired of fake love and shallow smiles decided to pretend to be broke on a blind date, bringing his twins along to test if love could still be real. He thought it was just a game, but he never expected she'd change his life forever. Adrian Cole wasn't just a man with money. He was the CEO of one of the biggest tech firms in the city, the type of man people chased not for who he was, but for what he had. He'd been burned before by a woman who claimed to care but only loved his bank account. And so, when his best friend set him up on a blind date, Adrian had a crazy idea. He left the suits, the luxury cars, and a penthouse behind. Instead, he put on a plain shirt, drove an old used sedan, and brought along the two little people who mattered most to him, his 6-year-old twins, Ethan and Ella. The restaurant wasn't glamorous, just a small family diner tucked in the corner of the city, with the smell of coffee and pancakes in the air. That's where Adrian met her. Her name was Claire. She was nothing like the woman he was used to. No designer bags, no heavy makeup, no carefully rehearsed charm. She walked in wearing a simple dress and carried herself with a quiet kind of strength. Claire was surprised, though, when she noticed the two children sitting beside him. "You a broken bar brought your kids on a blind date?" she asked, half amused, half confused. Adrian smiled nervously. "It's complicated. I figured if someone's going to be in my life via a broken bar, they should know the truth from the start." What Adrian didn't know was that Claire understood more than most. She had grown up the daughter of a single mother, watching her mom sacrifice everything to raise her. She knew the struggles, the exhaustion, and the beauty of parenthood. So instead of being upset, Claire turned to the twins with the warmest smile. "Hi, I'm Claire. Do you like pancakes as much as I do?" The ice broke instantly. By the time the food arrived, Ethan and Ella were laughing with her as if they'd known her forever. Adrian watched, stunned. He had never seen anyone connect with his children so naturally, so effortlessly. But the night wasn't all easy. At one point, Ethan spilled his juice all over the table, drawing annoyed stares from nearby diners. Adrian's chest tightened with embarrassment, ready to apologize for the chaos. Yet before he could, Claire calmly grabbed napkins, laughed softly, and said, "Don't worry, accidents happen. Let's clean it up together." Her patience melted Adrian's defenses. What Adrian didn't reveal was his secret, that behind the plain clothes and old car was a man who could buy the entire block if he wanted. He needed to know if Claire's kindness was real, or just another mask. So he kept quiet. Days turned into weeks, and the blind date turned into more. They met at parks, little diners, bookstores, always simple places. Never anything flashy. Claire grew closer not just to Adrian, but to his kids. She helped Ella with her school project, taught Ethan how to ride a bike, and listened to Adrian talk about life, not wealth. Yet, doubt still haunted him. What would happen if she found out the truth? Would she feel betrayed? Would everything fall apart? The answer came one stormy night. Claire had invited Adrian and the twins over for dinner. Her apartment was small but warm, filled with the smell of homemade pasta and laughter. After dinner, when the kids had fallen asleep on the couch, Adrian finally broke. "Claire, there's something I haven't told you," he said, his voice heavy. "The man you've been seeing isn't exactly who you think. I'm not just some struggling single dad, the broken bar, the CEO of Cole Technologies. I'm a millionaire. I lied because I was afraid you'd only see the money, not me." The silence that followed felt endless. Adrian braced himself for anger, disappointment, maybe even the door slamming in his face. But Claire just looked at him with calm eyes. "Adrian," she said softly, "I don't care if you're broke or a billionaire. What I care about is the man who showed up to a blind date with his kids, who makes them laugh, who treats me with respect, and who wants something real. Money doesn't change that." Adrian's throat tightened, his eyes stinging. For years, he had been searching for someone who would see past the fortune, past the title, and finally a broken bar. Here she was. From that night on, everything changed. Adrian stopped hiding. He brought Claire into his real world, introducing her to the life he had built. the responsibilities he carried, and the heart he had always protected, and she never once wavered. She stood beside him, not because of the mansion, the cars, or the company, but because of him and the little family they were slowly becoming. Months later, at another gala filled with flashing cameras and polished smiles, Adrian stood proudly, not with a fake date or a staged image, but with Clara by his side and his twins holding her hands. For the first time in years, he wasn't pretending. And the message: sometimes love only shows up when you strip everything else away. Because real love doesn't want your riches or your power. Real love wants you. Would you like me to expand this even more, adding extra challenges, like an ex who tries to interfere, or the twins testing Claire before trusting her fully, to stretch it into a full 100-minute storytelling script pacing?